company with an owner-independent status, which just means that I spend about 2 hours a month in that company. And what that's given me the freedom to do is allow me to do what I feel called to do and to play in the space of possibilities. And so I'm excited to be here, be with all of you. But I'll be honest, that was not my story. When I would love to say, and be up here with all of you and to say that I was, confident and committed and ready to take on the world, but that was not my story. You see, I grew up with this belief system that I was not good enough. And no matter how hard I tried, I simply was not enough. Maybe some of you can relate to that. Many of us on this call have a belief system that is not serving us. It's actually holding us back personally and professionally. Some of you may be aware that you're addicted to self-sabotage. And most of us are aware that something isn't working, otherwise we'd have everything that we've ever dreamt of. We would have, and all of us want more money, more clients, more freedom, but most importantly, we want more impact. I kept hearing we would like to have more impact on some of the breakout sessions that we had, right? Yes or yes? Yes, okay. So today, what I'm going to share with you, I'm going to share with you some simple, proven, highly effective tools and strategies to really connect and create more in your life, right? And then at the end of my time, if this resonates with you, I'd love to connect with you further to see how we can support you in your success story. Okay, so I want you to all unmute yourselves right now, and I want you to shout it out. What is it what's not believing in yourself really costing you? And to do epic shit, right? So what is that costing you by not believing in yourself? All right, who do we got? Just shout it out. What is it costing you? What's that? Future, right? Relationship, energy. What else, folks? I can't hear them. That's okay. Self-fulfillment. I'm going to pull up in here, but right? It's a self-fulfillment, energy, time. At bottom line, it's costing us our happiness, right? And when is the best time to make change in our lives? Any guesses? Right? It is now. Now is the time. And we know that right now we are living in a time that we must be more positive and shine our lights to the fullest extent, right? So it is time, it is now. So I'm going to share with you my now formula. So take out pen and paper. I'm going to have you take some notes here, okay? So N-O-W. N stands for no more. No more self-limiting beliefs, no more self-sabotage, no more doing it the hard way. Right now, we are in a time of place where we know that we have to be shining our light and stepping into what we know, what we are called to do, right? So many of us, we know the brain. We talk about the brain all the time, and many of you are familiar with the iceberg theory. The iceberg theory says this, that 10% of what we see above the water and 90% of the iceberg is below the surface. So when we compare this to our brains, 10% is conscious thought. So whatever thought you're having right this second is conscious thought. And then 90% is unconscious. It's under the surface. Now, according to the National Science Foundation, we have anywhere from 50 to 60,000 thoughts that are our thoughts, and only 2,000 of those are the conscious. So when we think we're running the show, we're really not. It is the subconscious and the unconscious, those scripts. And here's the thing. We will never outcreate our belief system, period. Because if we have beliefs that are keeping us here in fear, doubt, worry, insecurity, we cannot create what we're being called to create, okay? So what happens with our negative thoughts, they come in our brain, and they actually engage the reticular activation system. And part of that brain, what that does is it finds evidence. And that evidence either supports or not supports what we're doing, right? Positive thoughts find positive evidence. Negative thoughts find negative evidence. Okay, that's the brilliance of our brain. Now, what I want to teach you today is a tool to help you cut out, so it'll do two things. One, it will help you bring awareness to your quality of your thoughts, But the second thing it will do is actually cancel out those thoughts. So what I want you to do right now, write this down. Interesting point of view that I have this interesting point of view. I'm going to say that again. Interesting point of view that I have this interesting point of view. And we're going to put a 3x behind that. So we're actually going to say it 3 times. So what happens when we have negative thoughts coming in? Oh my goodness, that client didn't sign up with me. What am I going to do? And then I look at, oh my gosh, I haven't paid this. I haven't done this. I need these clients. Right? What happens is that part of the brain engages the reticular activation system. We find the evidence to support it, and we find ourselves spiraling out of control. Yes? We've all been there, right? So what this tool does is helps cancel those out. So it's kind of like this. Negative thought comes in, interesting point of view that I have this point of view, interesting point of view that I have this point of view, interesting point of view that I have this interesting point of view. It actually cancels out our quality of thoughts. Now, I would recommend using this for any negative thoughts, any judgments that you have towards yourself, towards others, any judgments or outcomes. Because what happens with energy, we cut off the energy when we do so. Now, when we cut it off, and people always ask me how many times should I be doing this a day, and I always tell them, start with 10,000. But I'm kind of kidding on that. What if you started with 50 and just notice what happens? One of my clients, she was a coach needing clients, and we started doing this tool for her, and within her 3rd week, she was able to bring in 5 additional clients, which is great. For her, that represented $35,000. How many of you would like to have a $35,000 week? Yes? It's very powerful when we get in control of our thoughts and what we're putting out there. Because there is no idle thought. Everything is either creating or destroying, okay? So here's the thing. Playing with this, canceling out the thought, and then what I like to do is open it back up. And I like to ask a generative question like, what else is possible? Because when we get into that place and space of like asking what else is possible, that's when the juiciness comes. That's when we can start receiving more of what we do desire, okay? So the next one is, O is for open to receive. Now I know we heard from Rika yesterday about receiving, and we're just gonna add on to that piece of it. So I want Cammie to come up for a second. And here's the thing, I know that most of you are amazing givers, right? I think most of you raised your hand that we're awesome givers, but we are horrible receivers. We are horrible receivers. So what I'm gonna do, and I know that this is the most basic concept, but I'm gonna demonstrate this because I wanna ground it in really concrete of what we are doing, okay? So we're gonna play toss, okay? And you cannot catch this.
Oh, I can't catch it.
I mean, you can't drop it. Sorry, you can't drop it. So yes, I want you to catch it. Ready? So this is how energy works. There's a give and a flow, But as soon as we stop, what happens? Okay, there we go. We cut off the energy of receiving. And so here's a tool that I want to talk about this concept. And in your folders, or in your bags, you guys got this. I'm going to teach you a little secret sauce, okay? Law of attraction, most of us know it. But here's the thing, we only implement it when we want it. We do this episodic creation versus creating all the time. So one of the ways in which I invite people to play in the space of creating every day, to create miracles every day in your life, is to start setting your intentions in doing so. What is it that you desire to create? Now, in the last 2 days, you've heard and you've explored what it is, and you've gotten really clear on what it is that you desire to create. Now we're just gonna start putting that into a daily practice, okay? So inside of here, intentions is an aim that guides action. Let me say that again. An intention is an aim that guides action. For what is it that you would like to receive in your life? Now, I can't go into it all day today about how to use these, but if you're interested, reach out to me and connect with me. I will send you a video that explains it. The instructions are in the front of this. But this is one of the ways in which, I'll just tell you this really quickly. I fill this out at the end of the night because at the end of our night, in the last 45 minutes of our night, our brain processes everything 7 times more at the end of our night than it does any other time of night. So what we do is we start to set ourselves up for receiving. How many of you have like had that thought, like, I should call Cami, I should call Cami, and then Cami calls you out of the blue and you're like, oh, right? You can create that every day, okay? You can create that every day, and so reach out to me and I'll tell you the step-by-steps on how to use this so that you can be implementing that every single day of your life, okay? Because intentions and setting intentions and then receiving it is a game changer, absolute game changer, and you can create that every single day of your life. Because when we start to set our intentions in motions, we start to create those desires to come to fruition, okay? And we start to receive it. So I love playing with, and when we start to receive, when we receive, here's the thing, is start to say, I'll take more of that, right? I'll take more of that, okay? It's so powerful in what we can create and how we can show up in the world if we should start receiving and saying yes to more things that are showing up in our lives, okay? Now, the W, okay, is for win more often. So that's W-I-N, win more often. Now, when is the best time to win more often? It's now, okay? And I will tell you, when we start to create on a daily practice and a daily piece, we can actually start to create those miracles, whatever that is that you're creating every day, we can start to put that into practice, right? And I want to share a fun win story that I had years ago when I was writing my book. And here's the thing, I never wanted to write a book. I was like I dug my heels long and hard on this because I'm a rule breaker in most areas of my life, and they said, well, if you're gonna speak, you have to have a book. And I felt like that was a dumb rule, okay? I see the value in it, okay? I see the value in it now, but at the time I didn't wanna write a book. Long story short, I write the book, and in the 11th hour, they're like, you need to have someone write your foreword to your book. And I was like, I don't know, I think a strong, dynamic woman, but I kept getting the name of Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield. So I said, okay, I will do what I'm being guided to do. So I reached out to Jack Canfield's office and I said, hey, what would it take for Jack Canfield to write my foreword? And Veronica, his assistant that's been with him for, 20 some years, she was really sweet. She was super cute. She was like, actually, you know what? He rarely writes forewords and you should probably get a plan B. And if any of you know me on this call, I see some of the familiar faces there. I had plan A or plan A. And so I got really crystal clear on what it was that I desired. And I put in all these actions and I put in all these, tools, and I got super clear. I did the tools that I'm teaching you today. And then I anchored it in. And what happens, lo and behold, a couple months later, I have Jack Canfield write my foreword to my book. Now, I share that with you not to impress you, but to impress upon you. We are very powerful beings. We can create the things that even we didn't believe we could, right? It is powerful in what we can create and generate when we're in a vibrational alignment, okay? So we talked about, Cami was talking about being in alignment, right? I'm a big believer in being in a vibrational alignment. That's the secret behind the law of attraction, if you will, if you ask me. So a lot of times what happens with business owners is we come from this place and space that we're creating from here, right? And our hopes and our dreams and our everything else is up here. So here's the thing, we have this gap. And it does take this, spiritual practice daily to create that. But I want to invite you to play in a space that we can create the vibrational alignment today and anchor it in, okay? So here's what we're going to do. And this is going to be an exercise that I'm going to invite everyone to participate and play full out, okay? Because it's a great representation. Are you playing full out in your life, or are you just going to kind of, do this kind of half-as, right? So I'm going to invite you to play full out. Okay, and this exercise, one of the exercises that I did to help anchor in what I was creating is get into the vibrational alignment of it, was to increase and act as if it's already happened. Okay, so if I'm acting as if I've already created, this is what it looked like. I'm going to peel the bathroom mirror back for you all, and and have you peek in. Is when I was working with setting my intentions with Jack Canfield, this is what it looked like every morning for me. Okay. gosh! Oh my gosh! I can't believe it! Jack Canfield just wrote my foreword. Oh my gosh! I can't believe it! Oh! Right? And what would happen is my daughter would come in and she would say, unbeknownst to her, she would say, Mom, I can't believe Jack Canfield wrote your foreword. I'm like, I know. What she doesn't know is she was actually helping co-create that. Because anytime you have someone else thinking the same thought, you actually square that thought, okay? Now, it's pretty brilliant. So now what I'm going to have you all do, I'm going to have you all stand up, okay? I'm going to invite everyone in this room to do this with me. I'm going to invite you to all stand up, and we're going to unmute yourself. We're going to break a couple of Zoom rules here, and we're going to unmute yourself. Okay, so my empaths that are in the room or on the screen, you know who you are. Just know, okay, I love you and we need to protect your energy, okay? You'll thank me later, okay? So what I want you to do, those that are empaths and you know it, just go ahead and close your eyes and just imagine stepping into a bubble and just allow any love or light to come through. But we're just gonna protect your energy, okay? Otherwise, you're gonna hate me, okay? So I just wanna protect you all, okay? All right, so now what I'm gonna do, everyone's unmuted? I still see some muted buttons. Can we unmute? Unmute everybody, okay? We're gonna rock this Saturday, okay? Unmute, okay? So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about everything that you've done up to this point, the ideas of what you've created and what you'd like to create in your life. What would it be like? What would it feel like if you already created that? Are you on that big stage? Are you on the Ellen DeGeneres show? Are you, celebrating that you just hit the, 1 million mark in your business? Did you just celebrate that you just reached the 500,000 mark, right? What are you celebrating? And I want you to act as if that you've already created it, okay? So here it is. Everyone's standing up, and I'm going to bring it. So I want you to bring it with me, okay? All right, so can I have someone do a timer for 33 seconds?
Got it.
You got it? Okay. 33 seconds.
33.
We're going to do this for 33 seconds. And can you give me a countdown, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll go?
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Congratulations, Megan! I cannot believe it! Congratulations! How much better can it get? How much better can it get? Woo! I can't believe it! Oh my goodness! Congratulations, Heather! Oh my gosh! Okay, are we done? And done. Okay. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Some people may be looking at me. I have 3 heads. I'm very comfortable with wearing 3 heads. But really quickly, shout it out as I catch my breath. What was that like for you? What did that feel like?
Amazing.
Amazing, right? And can I tell you a secret? That took us 33 seconds to step into it. All of the tools that I teach are under 2 minutes. Most of them are under 30 seconds. Can we commit to 33 seconds to your dreams every morning? Can we commit to a daily routine that creates it to bring it to fruition faster and stronger than ever before? Can we commit to embracing your light and what you're here to do for 33 seconds a day or more if you want to speed up that process, okay? Right? It feels amazing. It feels electric. This is how it feels when we have grown into that place and space. And guess what? Every time we create wins, we create an opportunity for us to leverage up in that, right? So it is beautiful. So if this resonates with you and you want to connect, to learn a couple more tools, or to learn out how you can, really leverage your business from an energetic perspective to create more in your life, I invite you to connect with me. The best way to do that is just talking with Terry, that's TERI.com/connect. I'll give you some free more tools too. I'll throw some more tools in there with the Mastering Your Mindset as well. So I'd love to connect with you. Take a moment, think about what it is that you want to create, and let's create the wins around it. Let's create massive wins, because we are required. No more time, no more playing small, no more playing, waiting for that perfect time. Our time is now, okay? So NOW, N stands for no more negative thoughts. I gave you the tool to do that. O is for open to receiving more. Yes, I'll take more of that. And the daily intentions, creating those. And then W is for win more often. And how we can do that is anchoring it in with the 33-second exercise. All right, everyone, you have been extraordinary. You've been amazing. And thank you all for the light that you bring to this world. Thank you.
Hands together, stand with me just for a quick second, if you would, because we would like to read some of the comments. And so in the comment box, I would love for you to just share that big thing that you're taking away from that activity, that idea. Like, what is it that you would expect somebody to drop a comment? What do you predict we're going to see? You can see here, and I'll read it to you.
Oh, let me get my fortune telling hat on.
Fortune telling. Do you think that ladies are feeling the vibration in their entire bodies?
Yes.
How cool is that?
Well, and most of the time when we do this, the dogs will start barking and spouses will come running in going, what's happening? And I'm like, yes, we just impacted. Think about that. When you are in that one in space, we actually have a ripple effect. When you get into that higher vibration, you have a ripple effect on your community and your surroundings, which is so juicy.
You know what somebody else said? They said, my heart and my soul is dancing, tingling. A bird just flew over and is trying to help. This was a fun tool in the journey, and I plan to use it often. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I love what Cindy just said. She said, I just realized I need to do more physical celebrating. It's been a bit of a lockdown for me. Like, how important is getting that body into it?
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, that's our cellular being. That's where we're at, right? And if we can get ourselves into it as well, I mean, we bring it all together. We talk about what Cammie was saying about being in alignment, because when we're in alignment vibrationally, people always ask me, like, how are you able to create and generate so fast? I have all these secrets where I'm just pulling it together. I'm utilizing quantum physics. I'm utilizing, and here's the thing. When we do this, it doesn't require so much effort. We don't have to be addicted to the struggle anymore. We can allow ourselves peace and bring it in together so that we don't have to effort so much.
I dig it. Somebody says we need to have a happy dance every single day.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us, if you could only do one thing with this bad boy, what would I do with it?
So tonight, when you go home, you're going to fill this out, okay? And you're going to fill out this top part, the last 45 minutes of the night, because that is where your brain starts creating. And when you start this off, I would start off with 1 or 2 in the boxes, okay? But it talks about the intentions. This intentions box is really just to help increase the reticular activation system. It's really a playful thing.
What was that name again? You have to say that. That was like kind of...
I know, reticulating activation system, right?
Sounds fancy.
Sounds fancy. But it's really just a guiding, it just finds our evidence, right? And so that you can fill this out. Being is how you show up. What is my intention for how I'm going to show up in the world, right? And then these are the various tasks. And then at the end of the night, when you're finishing it all up, you're going to finish it up with your evidence. The more we can find evidence that we're on the right path and that we're doing, the things that are bringing us more joy, write that down and watch how many things will start showing up. The serendipity circumstances will start showing up in your lives. And then my favorite is ending in gratitude, right? What are you thankful for? So. But this is a daily practice. This is taking the science and the intentionality and just your daily plan and creating it all in one.
Right. So do you really want change? Well, you marry action with it, right? You have the thought, these simple things, right? This isn't going to take very long, right? You've got the words in your mind. How do you articulate them onto the page? Like, I think that that's really, really critical. Like, we think that there's these, 52 billion things I'm going to have to do, but we really can boil it down to these simple steps. So thank you for reminding us the power we have here, and give her another round of applause. Give us a thumbs up. Let's see the love. Oh. That was so fantastic. Thank you. And thank you for bringing your little girl. I love that. Oh my goodness. Let's take a nice deep cleansing breath and just sit in that for a minute. Are you ladies ready for our next speaker? We're going to keep the fun rolling on. And I can't wait for this next speaker because we get to continue that conversation about the body, right? Because our next speaker is a master belly dancer. And when I picture a belly dancer, I think of the beautiful costumes. I think of the beautiful hips. I think just the way that the body moves and the sensuality, all of that just makes me feel so good and makes me want to move my body. And so I can't wait to see if we're going to get to witness a little bit of this body movement, the belly dancing. But with our next speaker, we're going to talk about 3 things that I think are really, really critical for entrepreneurs. And the first word is an S word that I know that we all know pretty well, and it's called shame. Oh my gosh, how do we deal with that? And how does that connect with visibility? And we have to get up there and share our messages, right? It's but what if I've got all this stuff that's dragging me down? Right? So she's going to talk about shame, visibility, and then that P word that we all want more in our life of pleasure. So we've got Sharisa Sue who's here. You've got her book called Shameless. And she works with all sorts of entrepreneurs, CEOs, people to build their businesses. And I loved when I read that she is the founding queen of the Claim Your Message copy and content agency. It was I want to be called the founding queen. That is so cool. And so her energy already just radiates badassery, and can't wait to hear her message. So put your hands together for Miss Sharisa Sue. So